Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back. I hope you're doing okay today, wherever you are. Sometimes we start a day and work is already in our head. Emma, before we talk about anything, how are you feeling right now?
Hi, I'm really glad you're here with us. How am I feeling? I think calm, but also a little busy inside. It's one of those days where my mind is thinking about work already. What about you, Nero? How do you feel today?
Yeah, I feel similar. Not stressed, but, focused, maybe. And that's actually why today's conversation feels important, because we're going to talk slowly, honestly, like real people do.
Exactly. This podcast is about real spoken English. We make small mistakes, we pause, we correct ourselves. So please don't worry. This is daily life English, not textbook English.
Yes, mistakes are normal here. We're learning together. And gently, if you enjoy this calm way of learning, you can subscribe and stay with us. All right, let's slowly move forward.
So, work. Almost everyone works or studies or does something daily. But many learners tell me, I don't know how to talk about my work in English. They feel stuck with very short sentences.
Yes, I hear that a lot too. People say, I work in office, and then stop. Or they say, my job is good, but they want to say more. In daily life, we talk about work very simply, but often.
And sometimes people say things a little wrong, like, I am doing job in a company. We understand it, but it's not how we usually say it. In daily English, we say, I work at a company.
Right. Small changes, but they matter. And today, we're not talking about big business English, just real conversations, how work feels, how days go, the kind of English people actually use. Let's start very simple. Many learners ask, how do I talk about my job? You don't need long sentences. Even one clear sentence is enough.
Yes, for example, you can say, I work as a teacher or I work in a shop. Both are very normal. And if you don't want details, that's okay.
Sometimes people say, I am working in this company from 5 years. Almost right. We usually say, I have been working here for 5 years. Or more simply, I've worked here for 5 years.
And it's okay if you forget at first. You can even say, I work here for 5 years. I mean, since 5 years ago. Self-correction is very human. People do this all the time. Let's pause gently. Now you try one simple sentence about work. For example, I work in an office. Say your own sentence.
You can also add time if you want. For example, I work in a shop in the morning. No pressure. Slow and clear is perfect. Okay, let's continue. Emma, people often want to talk about their daily routine at work, but they think it needs difficult grammar. It really doesn't. Simple present tense works very well.
Yes, you can say things like, I start work at 9, I answer emails, I talk to customers. Very simple, very real.
Sometimes learners say, I am doing meeting every day. We understand, but we say, I have meetings every day, or I attend meetings every day. That sounds more natural.
And feelings can be part of routine too. For example, I usually feel tired after work. That's something many people relate to. It connects language with real life.
Try this one slowly. I usually at work. For example, I usually feel busy at work. Use your own word.
Or you can try, I finish work at and feel. For example, I finish work at 6 and feel relaxed. Take your time.
Not every workday is the same. Some days feel good, some days feel heavy. And English has simple ways to say this. You don't need big words.
Yes, instead of saying, today my work was very harded, we say, today was a hard day at work. Short and natural. People say this a lot.
And for good days, you can say, today was a good day at work, or I felt productive today. That word, productive, is very common.
I like that word too. But even simpler is fine. I finished my tasks and felt good. That sounds honest and human. let's practice one feeling sentence. For example, today was stressful, but I learned something. Now you try your own.
It can be positive or negative. Both are okay. Work is not perfect, and English doesn't need to be perfect either. All right, let's move on. Work is also about people. Colleagues, managers, customers. But learners sometimes sound too strong when they talk about people. Soft language helps a lot.
Yes, instead of saying, my boss is very bad, you can say, my boss is strict, or my manager expects a lot. That sounds more polite.
For example, my manager is strict but fair. That but changes the feeling. It shows balance. Very natural in spoken English.
And about colleagues, you can say, my coworkers are friendly, or I work with a supportive team. These are very common phrases.
Try one people sentence now. For example, I work with kind people. Change it to fit your life.
And notice how it feels when you say it. English is not just grammar. It's also tone and emotion. Okay, let's continue slowly.
Emma, many learners want to talk about stress at work, but they worry it sounds negative. In real life, people talk about stress very normally. It's okay.
Yes, you can say, I feel stressed at work sometimes. That sentence is honest and very common. It doesn't sound weak.
Sometimes people say, I have pressure. We understand, but we usually say, I feel pressure, or more naturally, I feel under pressure. That's a useful phrase.
For example, I feel under pressure before deadlines. That's something many people feel. It connects language with real experience. Very natural. Now try this gently. I feel at work when, for example, I feel nervous at work when I speak in meetings. Say your own sentence.
No one is judging you. This is just practice. The more honest the sentence, the better the English feels. All right. Emma, another thing people often talk about is time at work. Work hours, long days, short days, all of that. But learners sometimes use very direct or confusing sentences. We can make them softer and clearer.
Yes. For example, people say, I do job for 10 hours. We understand, but it sounds a little off. More natural is, I work for 10 hours a day, or simply, I have long work hours.
I like that one. I have long work hours is very common. You can also say, my work hours are flexible. That means they can change.
And feelings can come here too. For example, I work long hours, so I feel tired in the evening. It's not complaining, it's just sharing your day. That's real conversation.
Let's pause again. Try one sentence about your work time. For example, I work long hours and feel tired. Say it your way.
Or you can say, I finish work early on some days. Notice how simple that is. Okay, let's move on.
Emma, people often ask, is it okay to say I don't like my job? And the answer is yes, but how you say it matters. Soft language sounds more natural.
Exactly. Instead of saying, I hate my job, you can say, I don't really enjoy my job. It sounds calmer and more adult.
For example, I don't really enjoy my job, but it pays the bills. That sentence feels very real. People say things like that all the time. It shows balance.
And if you like your job, you don't need big words. You can say, I enjoy my work, or I like what I do. Very simple, very natural. Try one honest sentence now. For example, I enjoy my work most days, or change it to fit your life.
It's okay if your feeling is mixed. You can say, I like my job, but some days are hard. That's very human English. All right, let's continue. Talking about work also means talking about the future. Plans, hopes, small dreams. Future tense is difficult, but we can keep it very simple.
Yes, you don't need long plans. You can say, I want to grow in my job, or I hope to change my job one day. Both are very natural.
Sometimes people say, I will changing my job. Almost right. We say, I will change my job. Or even more natural, I want to change my job.
And it's okay if you're not sure. You can say, I'm not sure about my future at work. That sentence feels honest. People say it often.
Try one future sentence slowly. For example, I want to improve my skills at work. Make it about you.
Or you can try, I hope my work life feels better next year. No pressure, just real words. Okay.
Emma, these days people talk a lot about balance, work and rest. But learners sometimes don't know how to say this idea simply. We can keep it very clear.
Yes, you can say, I try to balance work and life, or I want more time outside work. Very common sentences.
For example, I work hard, but I also need rest. That sentence sounds mature and natural. It shows you understand yourself. That's good English.
And if balance is difficult, you can say, work takes a lot of my energy. That's softer than complaining. Very useful in real conversations. Let's try one last practice here. For example, I need more rest after work. Say your own sentence.
Notice how these sentences feel calm. That's how people really talk. Not fast, not perfect, just honest. All right, let's keep going. Emma, sometimes we don't need long explanations. At work, conversations are often very short, and learners worry too much about sounding perfect. Simple replies are enough.
Yes. If someone asks, how is work? You can say, it was busy, or it was okay, or even long day.
Long day is very common. You don't even need a full sentence sometimes. That's real spoken English. Very natural.
And if you want to add feeling, you can say, busy but productive. 2 words, very clear. People understand immediately.
Try a short reply now. For example, busy but fine. Keep it short and real.
Short English is strong English. Don't be afraid of it. Okay, we're getting close to the end now, slowly. Let's take one more step together.
Emma, something very real at work is mistakes. Everyone makes them, but learners feel shy talking about them in English. They think it sounds bad, but actually it can sound very mature.
Yes, I agree. Instead of saying, I did very big mistake, we usually say, I made a mistake. Simple and calm.
For example, I made a mistake, but I fixed it. That sentence sounds responsible. It doesn't sound weak at all. People respect that.
And if the mistake is small, you can say, I made a small mistake today, or I misunderstood something. That's very common at work. Let's try one gentle sentence. For example, I made a small mistake, but I learned from it. Now you try.
Mistakes are part of work, and they're also part of learning English, so don't hide them. Just say them simply. Emma, work conversations are not only about our jobs. We also ask others about their work. Learners often ask in a very formal way, but daily English is softer.
Yes. Instead of saying, what is your profession? You can say, what do you do? It's very normal and friendly. People use it all the time.
And if you already know the job, you can ask, how's work going? That's a very common question. It shows interest, not pressure.
For example, if someone says, work is busy, you can reply, yeah, I understand. Or, that sounds tiring. Simple responses matter.
Try asking a question now. For example, how's work these days? Say it out loud.
And try a short reply, too. For example, it's busy but okay. That's a full conversation already. Nice and natural.
Emma, many people now work from home. This changed how we talk about work. Learners sometimes don't know how to explain this simply, but the language is easy.
Yes, you can say, I work from home, or I work remotely. Both are common. No need to explain too much.
For example, I work from home, so I save time. That's a nice, clear sentence. It shows a benefit. Very natural.
And you can also talk about feelings. I work from home, but I feel lonely sometimes. That sentence feels very real. Many people feel that way. Try one sentence about your workplace. For example, I work from home and feel comfortable. Change it to fit your life.
There's no right or wrong here, just honest English. That's how confidence grows. Okay, let's continue. Work is also a place where we learn new skills, new people, new habits. Learners forget they can talk about this, but it's very useful.
Yes, you can say, I'm learning a lot at work, or I learned something new today. Very simple, very positive.
For example, I learned how to manage my time better. That sounds professional, but still simple. No difficult words, just clear meaning.
And if learning feels hard, you can say, I'm still learning. That sentence is powerful. It shows growth, not weakness.
Try this one. For example, I'm still learning, and that's okay. Say it slowly.
Notice how kind that sentence feels. English can be kind, not only correct. All right, one more section before we pause.
Emma, at the end of the day, people often talk about finishing work, but learners sometimes say very long sentences. We can keep it short.
Yes, you can say, I'm done with work, or I just finished work. Both are very common.
For example, I just finished work and feel tired. That sentence is very natural. It sounds like real life. No extra words needed.
And if it was a good day, you can say, I finished work feeling satisfied. That word, satisfied, is nice but not too strong. Very useful. Let's end this part with one sentence. For example, I finished work and need rest. Say your own.
Good. We've talked about many small, real work moments, and we're not done yet. We'll continue slowly. Emma, sometimes work has problems. Not big drama, just small issues. But learners either stay silent or sound too strong. There's a softer middle way.
Yes, very true. Instead of saying, there is big problem in my office, you can say, there are some issues at work. That sounds calmer and more natural.
For example, there are some issues with communication. That sentence is very common in real offices. It doesn't blame anyone. It just explains the situation.
And if you want to talk about your feeling, you can say, this situation makes me feel frustrated. Or even softer, it's a bit frustrating. People say that a lot.
Try one soft problem sentence. For example, there are some issues, but we're working on them. Now your turn.
Notice how polite that sounds. This kind of English is very useful at work. Okay, let's keep going.
Emma, many jobs have busy times. Deadlines, seasons, special projects. Learners want to explain this but don't know how. It can be very simple.
Yes, you can say, it's a busy time at work, or work is a bit hectic these days. Hectic is a common word.
For example, this week is busy, so I feel tired. That sentence connects time and feeling. Very natural. No extra grammar needed.
And when it gets calmer, you can say, things are slowing down at work. That sounds relaxed. People understand it easily.
Try one sentence about time at work. For example, work is busy this week. Add a feeling if you want.
Remember, short sentences are okay. Busy people speak like this. That's real English. All right.
Emma, work is easier when there's support from a team, a friend, or a manager. Learners don't always talk about this, but it's a nice topic.
Yes, you can say, my team supports me, or I feel supported at work. Very positive sentences.
For example, I feel supported, so I'm less stressed. That shows cause and feeling. Very clear. Very human.
And if support is missing, you can still be soft. I wish I had more support at work. That sentence sounds honest, not angry. People say this often.
Try one support sentence. For example, I feel supported by my team. Change it to match your life.
It's okay if it's not perfect. The feeling matters more. Okay, let's continue slowly.
Emma, confidence at work changes over time. Some days we feel confident, some days not. Learners often only say good or bad, but there are better ways.
Yes, you can say, I feel more confident now, or I'm gaining confidence at work. Those are very natural phrases.
For example, I'm gaining confidence because I practice more. That sentence sounds strong and positive. It shows growth. Very nice English.
And on hard days, you can say, I don't feel very confident today. That's okay too. It's honest.
Try this sentence slowly. For example, I feel more confident than before. Say it in your own way.
Confidence comes from small steps, and speaking like this is one of them. Good job. Let's take one more section.
Emma, many listeners use English at work. Emails, calls, meetings. They feel nervous about their English. This is very common.
Yes, and they often say, my English is weak, but we don't really say it like that. You can say, I'm still improving my English. That sounds more positive.
For example, I use English at work, so I'm improving slowly. That sentence feels realistic, not pressure, just progress. Very human.
And when you make mistakes, you can say, "Sorry, let me say that again." That sentence is very useful. People understand and wait.
Try this helpful sentence. For example, I'm still improving my English at work. Say it with confidence.
English is part of work for many people, and it gets better with calm practice, just like this. Okay, so let's slow down here. We talked about many small parts of work today. Not big grammar, not perfect sentences, just real work, real feelings, real English.
Yeah, take a moment and think. What did you learn today? Maybe one new sentence. Maybe one way to talk about your work.
Try this small reflection. How was your work today? For example, you can say, "I felt tired, but I finished my task."
Or you can say, I was busy at work and felt a little stressed. Small sentences like these are enough. They are honest and they are real English.
We have a small challenge for you. Write 1 or 2 sentences in the comments. Talk about your workday and how you felt. No pressure. Just be yourself.
And if this calm, slow conversation helps you, you can subscribe and share this podcast with someone. We're here to practice together, step by step.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Take care of yourself after work. Rest when you can, and be kind to your English.
Bye for now.